It's a good day today. Sunglasses on, t-shirt on, donkey's done. We started rebuilding this bike over a year ago. Completely stripped it down to the frame, painted the engine, done a bit of work here and there, a few new bits. Are you ready for the grand reveal? 3, 2, ta-da! Oh my beautiful donkey. So what have we done since you last saw it? Well, first of all, finished it in this awesome graphics kit. Now, obviously this wasn't made for this bike. I think they came off an RM. So we've had to sort of do a bit of custom work, bit of cutting here and there to get them to fit. Hole in the seat. It's really hard to try and get a seat cover for these. And at the end of the day, we don't want the bike to be perfect because it's not perfect. The idea was always to improve. It's not perfect, but it is to me. So, fully painted frame, engine, painted the exhaust as well. Got onto the front here. We've got a dual mudguard setup. This was going to be the original one, and it certainly looks better with a high fender on there. Gives it that motocross style. However, it was getting my new radiator a bit muddy. I thought I'd add the secondary mudguard on there just to provide a little bit more protection for the new oil cooler radiator and newly painted exhaust too. How long that paint will last, I don't know. Of course, we've got a few new 3D printed things. This is the first prototype of the tank finishing rings that I have made. I went for gold. I've got a black one too. A GPS dash because the original dash no longer works. Well, the second original dash, the original dash got broken in a crash. That rhymed. So we've got a GPS dash so I can tell how fast we're going now. It also tracks your mileage too. We've got functioning indicators, which this bike hasn't had for a very long time. Look at them. And they're proper as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. New LED tail light. Works quite well. What else is new? Oh yeah, new fuel tap because we broke off the vacuum port for the old one when we were rebuilding it. Of course, it's had a general service, oil, filter, plugs. Screen fitted train. Screen fitted for maximum wind protection. I think the screen suits it quite well, especially with the round headlight. I've managed to cover the awful, the awful tank scratch mark. We'll rewind back to that to see what happened. Terrible, terrible news, as I'll show in this video here.
Can't believe it.
Cannot believe it. And
that's snapped off. That is the damage it caused from falling over. The exact same spot. As you can see here, they had the deep marks here from the old crash. Yeah. Could have been any more perfect.
Yeah, managed to cover that up with this sticker. Awesome. New rear brake master cylinder with internal reservoir. So it gets rid of the big pot that was here. Nice and sleek, nice and nice. Works well. New exhaust, because the other one was short and extremely loud and horrible to follow. Because of where the fixing point is here, it wobbled about a fair bit. So I bought a second clamp and clamped it onto here. So now we're double clamped, secure, baffled, nice. But still got a bit of a fruity style, if you need it. I've kept the original 626 sticker on there. We've got new grips, which also got damaged the first time we fitted them. Doesn't really matter, they're only grips. We've got a horn. Now, the most important part, look at these. Eeyore. Of course, I have 3D printed these headlight brackets here. The other mounts we had on here before were rubbish. These were off, I believe, an old Bandit, but I had to remake these rubbers in here to suit these forks. But structurally, sound. Of course, I had to customize it with the logo, our name, and a donkey. Oh yeah, and also some indicator brackets. They used to mount here, but when you turn the handlebars, they hit on the tank. So I extended these with these. So these are these, and that works well. New front brake line, because the old one was the original and probably didn't help braking performance. May need to get some new pads at some point. We'll come across that when it matters. And also the tyres are a few years old, although not totally worn out. At some point soon, they're going to need replacing, but until they need doing for sure, then we'll do them. Of course, new chain and sprockets, look at them, very clean. All bearings have been re-greased. We saw that on the last video. Zzz. Loads of new sort of bits of paint, all this type of lovely stuff here. Look at that. Let me know what you think of this. I think it looks awesome. Oh yeah, of course, to finish it off, the Donkey Ferrari stickers. These were here originally in a metal plate. We thought we should replace them with these vinyl stickers on here. Again, just not forgetting where we came from. Started from the bottom, now we're here. Anyway, so there's the bike. Let me know what you think. We're going to go for a quick ride now. I can't be too long because we've got somewhere exciting to be later on, which will be in the next couple of videos. But we're going to go for a quick ride, test drive it and see what we think. Give a bit of a rolling review too. See you in a bit. Brum. The Donkey. Back on the roads after so many years. One of the most comfortable bike seats I've ever sat on, this is, for sure. I feel right back at home on it. It's got a lovely upright seating position, just like your favourite chair at home, this is. Yeah, this is just going to be a nice sort of chilled test drive to celebrate the completion of the Donkey. It may have taken a year, but it was worth it all. The exhaust has got a slight pop when you let off throttle as well. I don't know whether I like it or not, but it's certainly quieter than what it was, which is a definite benefit. A few stones on the road, gotta be careful for them. Pretty impressed by the fueling on the carburetor as well. I forgot what this bike rid like after a while. Now down low, I haven't got a rev gauge, so I can't tell you how many revs, but like any sort of big CC single or twin, it is a little bit lumpy down below, but once you get past, I'm gonna guess 1500 revs, it then smooths out and it does pull surprisingly well. I don't know how much horsepower this has got. I'm gonna guess around 40-ish, 40 to 50-ish, but it pulls well. So yeah, more than enough, but not ridiculous where it feels out of control. You're certainly not going to be pulling any power wheelies on this, but it's enough to have fun on for sure. And actually, for a Suzuki, the gearbox feels pretty good. It is a bit agricultural, but so is the Donkey, so it fits it well. The rear brake with the new rear master cylinder is very good, very effective. I do like a good rear brake. It's nice having indicators as well. I don't mind, you know, doing hand signals when I need to, but it is nice just having a button where you can, you know, just press it. The screen on the front, I don't think I've ever really had a bike with a big screen on the front, but yeah, it feels quite good. It's cruising down here on the riverside. Getting lots of waves on this. I think it's the most waves I've ever had. Maybe they like the new styling of the Donkey. I mean, how couldn't you really, I guess? They're just so happy to see it back. I'm happy to see it back. Yeah, it's been a few years since I've rid it properly like this. And from what it came from to what it feels like and looks like now, it brings a tear to my eye. Got my little GPS speedo down here. So currently cruising at 25 miles an hour. I don't know what gear I'm in, but yeah, it's not jerking about, feels smooth. But if I need to pull away, straight up there, no problemos. The great thing about having a bike like this as well, great example off here, I don't feel too bad just going off-road, popping it up, because the tyres are good. I'm not going to fall off the side of it like you would on a sports bike because you can't sort of reach the ground or the balance is a bit weird on there. Yeah, the rear brake is good. The front brake is okay. We've still got the original master cylinder on the front and obviously original caliper as well. It works, you know, it's just yeah, it's alright. When you're used to sort of radial master cylinders and Brembos, etc., anything else does feel a bit slack sometimes, but yeah, they're okay. the rear shock does again feel a little bit soft too. When you're riding it, it feels absolutely fine, to be honest with you, so it might be how it's supposed to be. I haven't touched the preload on here, on the spring, which maybe is something I should do. But like I say, when you're on the roads, especially these roads, which typically are very, very bumpy, potholes, tree roots, just shit maintenance, actually feels really nice. So whether I will touch it or not, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I can still do things like that, which was wickedly awesome. So gnarly. Do you know what though? It's these little things like this, just having a bit of a wob. These little things that you haven't got to go fast to enjoy a bike ride. You can just be a free spirit, man. You're never going to go super fast on a bike like this, but that's not really the point. You get your fun from playing about a little bit with it and having the freedom to be able to do things like this. And just be comfortable whilst you're riding it as well. You can sit back on the seat like this, on the passenger seat, and stretch your legs if you need to. There's loads of room if you need to stand up. And because the bike has got a fairly fat tank on it, when you do stand up, you've got something to nip your legs up against. So you feel quite secure actually. I feel like I could do the Dakar on this, no problemos. Oh, bump. See, that was a big bump there. But the suspension took it on no problem. I thought it was going to be much worse, but it was fine. I haven't got my lights on. I'll turn them on because I can. Although the dash isn't working, the high beam and the indicator warning lights still are working, which is nice. So MOT wise, that's fine. I feel like I could do a lot of miles on this bike and be comfortable still at the end of it. I can hardly feel the wind. This screen is pretty good. Head up. Whoa! You also forget on these, I forget what tyres they are, but they're quite knobbly. The tyres have been on there for a long time really. Not that I advocate having old tyres. But for knobbly tyres, they're very, I can say from experience, they're very grippy, and it doesn't feel like mud on the road here. It's where the tyres come into their own. Yeah, for knobbly tyres, it doesn't feel like they're knobbly tyres. They are a bit worn down now, as I said, but it's not a sort of super bumpy ride. Yeah, from experience of these tyres, the rear will go before the fronts as well. Oh, this is a good bike. It's a perfect bike really to just fucking blast about on, and yeah, not going super fast, but not going super slow. Felt comfortable, dealt with all the bumps. For these sort of back roads, ah, wicked. I'm a bit out of breath from all that. I've kind of forgot what the stock free wind, I never knew what it was. If you know, and you care, let me know. Free wind, free wind. I'll call it the XF650. I forgot what the XF650 was like. I don't think I had it in its original trim for very long before I sort of stripped it and made it into a scrambler. I'd like to do a little bit of light off-roading on this. I know on the road, no problems. Go for miles. Decent engine, you could cruise it at 60 or 70 miles an hour. It is only 5 gears. I don't know what gearing I've got on here, but again, for the type of roads that I do, it's absolutely fine. But I'd like to do a little bit of off-roading. Nothing too heavy, obviously. ground clearance is a bit of an issue on here, and also the weight of the bike. Although currently as it sits, it is definitely a lot lighter than what it was when it left the factory, but it's still a fair chunk. As with most bikes, you don't feel it when you're riding along, but in the slow stuff you probably would. The bike isn't overly shaky either. It doesn't vibrate loads when you're riding it. I think the handlebars are rubber dampened and got rubber foot pegs on here as well, but again, for a big single, it's adequate enough where it doesn't shake you to pieces. See some poor quality stickers are coming off. Not the decals, but these ones, for example, didn't stick on the tank very well. I put that on the screen. Perfect. Noise check. Yeah, it's quite reasonable. I haven't actually even got any earplugs in. This helmet is fairly good, fairly soundproof, but it's certainly not obnoxious like it was before. What a lovely usable engine from a lovely usable bike. Although the MOT man said it was horrible, but what does he know? It's the donkey, it can never let me down. It's impossible. So there we go, the first proper test ride of the donkey. As expected, it performed flawlessly. I expect nothing less from such a good machine. Look at it. How good does that look? I'll try and do a side-by-side comparison or something like that, before and after. But it definitely looks better after. I'm not usually a fan of black bikes, but this has got a splash of colour. A bit of individuality. Something like that, anyway, just to perfect it. Maybe bleed that front brake, or possibly change to a better front master cylinder. Oh yeah, do something about this rip in the seat. That's probably the worst looking thing, which, given how the bike looked before, there's not a lot wrong with that. Anyway, there we go. There's the bike. There's the donkey. See you later, mate.